So I'm here with
Jon von Gillern.
okay, and who came up all the way from Iowa.
Yes, Des Moines.
Is that the Iowan saying? Is it the pronunciation?
Yes, it's the proper French pronunciation. It's Des Moines.
Okay, I didn't know there was a big French population in Iowa.
There's not. We exterminated them.
Wow, this is an interesting start. Okay, so speaking of I didn't know you could do that, or that happened, you're doing a talk today on I didn't know you could do that. It's basically .NET tips and tricks, right?
Yes, .NET tips and tricks. I think this is like the 10th time that I've given the talk. It's really scatterbrained because there's like lots of little tiny, small little tips and tricks that hopefully most people know a lot of them, but it's that one that, oh, I didn't know you could do X, Y, Z, and that'll save you, you know, an hour over the course of a week.
So is this stuff that's just within the framework, or is it stuff within Visual Studio, or both?
Mostly Visual Studio. There's some things like some of the debugger stuff that it's kind of both, right? It's in the system diagnostics namespace, so technically it's part of .NET, but really it's a trick for Visual Studio.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So for people that may not be able to make your talk today, what's one thing that you could share that is a tip that you learned that really has helped you out in your development?
Sure. The easiest, oh geez, I'm going through all in my head. I think the best, the most impact that you could get is the system diagnostics namespace. So they have all sorts of attributes that you can put on a class. Okay. So like normally if you have like a list of say person, right, you'll have a, you'll expand that list, or you hover over it in the debugger, you'll hover over it and you'll see, person, right? Well, that's not very helpful. I want to know what those people are. So what you can do is there's an attribute called debugger name. And so you put this attribute on the class, and what you can do is you can say, instead of it showing the fully qualified namespace, my corporation dot my project dot person, you can just say person and then whatever you want, and then what you can do is you can put properties in curly braces. So you can say person colon curly brace first name curly brace dash last name curly brace dash curly brace age curly brace. Okay. And so when you hover over that list now, that enumerable list, it'll say person Jon von Gillern 28, Jason Bach 40. Oh my God. Yeah, I know. Thanks, appreciate it. You're welcome. And so it's those little things that just speed it up. So instead of having to click on each one of them and interrogate each one, you can do that. There's other ones in there that will let you, you got some piece of code that is really, really repetitive, but you don't want to like ever step into it. There's something that says, hey, debugger step through, right? I'll never hit it. Okay. You can say, I don't ever want to see this. Like, so if you've got a models object and you've got backing fields because you're doing WPF and you want to do your notified property change, right? Yep. Well, you show person in, and it's really annoying because it's like underscore first name, underscore last name, first name, last name, right? For the properties and the fields. Yeah. So you can put debugger display never, this attribute on there, and you can put it on all of your fields, and then they'll never show in the debugger when you're hovering over a variable. And then if you're in release mode, you can just put like an if statement around it to compile it out. I'm pretty sure that that nothing in the system.diagnostics namespace ever gets put in release build. Oh, okay. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure about that. Okay, cool. Sure. All right, thanks, Jon. Hey, thanks, guys.